All right, here's our first episode. So my name is Zeus Rodriguez. This is my wife, Dana. We're going to be going over this really awesome drink that we've learned how to make by accident and then found out that there was a bunch of recipes on Pinterest, but we're going to go ahead and make our own version of a keto version of hot cocoa milk, right? Cocoa milk, hot chocolate. All right, so we're going to go over the ingredients first. We have found this at Costco. It's called organic cacao, I guess, cocoa, but it's cacao powder. It's Navida's Organics. It's actually from the Netherlands, which is interesting. It's just really high quality stuff. I was excited. Just the feel of it is really soft and just made me want to buy it. Total carbohydrates is 8 grams, but the good thing about it is that the dietary fiber is only 5, or it's actually 5 grams, so that means that a net carbs of only 3 grams for an entire serving. There's 0 sugars. This is all natural, certified organic cocoa powder. The really cool thing about it too is, as you know, in the keto diet, you have a lot of issues with getting your electrolytes in balance with the flushing of the water. As you know, for every gram of carbohydrates, your body can basically store up and absorb about 4 grams of water. So when you start this diet, as you might have been able to tell, is it'll flush out a lot of waters, but along with that comes your electrolytes. And so this, with one serving, has 300 milligrams of potassium, which is about 6%. So a half a serving is about 3%, which anytime you get potassium in any of your intakes for the day is a good thing. But here's another one, magnesium. This is the big electrolyte that a lot of people are lacking, and this is very important. And this has a whopping 106 milligrams per serving, 25% of your daily intake. And I can tell you that that is really cool. Everybody's probably seen this, almond milk. Unsweetened. You don't want the sweetened kind because then it has carbohydrates and sugar. You get this kind, not only do you get 2.5 grams of fat, but you get 1 gram of protein with just actually less than 1 carbohydrate in dietary fiber. So pretty much this is almost a free drink. It's about 30 calories for a whole cup. 2 things that we're going to add to it that I've seen on Pinterest real quick that I'd liked to try is with this ground cinnamon. I really want to get cinnamon sticks, but we don't have those yet. And mushroom coffee. We've been watching some YouTube channels on the various types of keto diets and suggestions from people, and we came across this mushroom coffee from Four Sigmatic. It's kind of expensive, but it's really, really tasty. So if you're looking to have a treat type meal or drink like we're going to do here, this is really good because this just feels so good. When you drink it and you feel like you're cheating, but you're not. So last night I'd worked out a lot over the last couple of days and really restricted my calories because I'm trying to do a last cut phase. And my ketones, I finally got my blood ketone meter, the Keto Mojo. And 2 days ago yesterday morning I was 4.2, which is really high. There's actually this sweet zone. It's not necessarily bad. I don't know the exact benefits for being above 3, but according to the experts on the internet, the sweet spot for fat burning and whatnot is between 0.5 and 3. My wife was 2.0, right? Perfect, smack dab in the middle, of course. And I was 4.2. And I knew that had to do with the fact that I had very low calories for a couple days in a row, as well as biking 22 miles and lifting weights and all that stuff like that. But anyway, so last night when I just felt like I needed to eat a lot of these foods, and so I had a bunch. We went to the store, got Costco, went and got some baby kale, got some Brussels sprouts, and so I put that in when I got home and got a big old bowl of it, put some butter on it, and that just made me hungry. Ate a fat bomb cookie, which we'll go and show you how to make in another video. But then I decided to try this cocoa thing, and it just tasted so good that I just figured that this has got to be wrong. There's got to be some kind of insulin response, which there probably was, but would it kick me out of keto? So I had all these carbs, good carbs, you know, the cruciferous vegetable carbs, and then this cocoa, but I felt so satiated and so good, like my body was craving these things, and I felt good about the carbs that I had because I'm like, these are good carbs. This is what it means to really eat good carbs. This is what your body wants. So this morning I tested my ketones and I was still at a 3.1, which is awesome. And so I felt no guilt, and that's why we wanted to make this video, so that you know that while we want to keep our carbs really restricted, it's not bad to find these really handy recipes and things that are actually easy, quick, and just make you feel better about the diet. So the last thing, the superstar of the meal and pretty much every cheat meal, and again, our cheat meals are just basically things that taste sweet, even though stevia supposedly has no insulin response. We know it doesn't have any calories, and they claim that there isn't much, if any, of an insulin response, but it is so good. It is so sweet. Most people get the stevia confused with the pure stevia confused with the blends that you find at stores, at most stores or even restaurants. They'll have a stevia blend. It's mixed with, I don't know, dextrose or whatever. But this is the pure leaf that we got off of the internet. And this truly is 300 times more sweet than regular sugar. I mean, you just put a little tiny 1/16 of a teaspoon in a giant thing of like coffee, and you can taste it like you have a couple tablespoons of sugar. So, and this is the champion of all of our nice little sweet cheat meals. All right.
So now we're going to make the homemade whipping cream so that you don't have to buy the stuff that has all the sugar from the store. So I'm going to use 1/2 cup of the heavy whipping cream. Add that to your mixer. We're using this Shamrock Farms heavy whipping cream. So we're going to do a pinch of stevia. We'll just sprinkle it in there. So this is a tiny 2-ounce package. We have been using it for several weeks, about a month.
It was $10.
$10, yep. Okay, so that's all, just those 2 ingredients. Now you start whipping at a high speed, and then you can taste as you go. If you feel like you want to add more stevia, you can, but we really just need to start whipping.
Okay.
All right, now we have to taste test just to be sure we have enough stevia. I think it's perfect. I don't like mine overly sweet, so I think it's perfect as is.
All right, off to the next. So we're gonna put 1 cup of this. Oh, this is gonna spill. Just barely. All right. So there's 1 cup of almond milk. We're gonna put 1 tablespoon. Sorry, I like my tablespoons to be rounded. Heaping, yes. So we're gonna put 1, and maybe just a little bit more because, like I said, yesterday I put in the whole 2.5, and it was a little much. It was good, but it was a little bit much. So I'm just gonna put in 1 and maybe 1/4 in there, tablespoon. All right, so we're gonna just add half of this in her cup, half in my cup. This is just 1 whole serving, but we're just gonna split it up. And then what we're gonna add next is we're going to add the 4 Sigmatic mushroom coffee. Now we love coffee. We drink a lot of coffee. We drink a whole pot of coffee. I don't even know how I would be able to do the ketogenic diet without coffee, because I haven't done any diet or any type of eating in the last probably 5 years without coffee. So, all right. So I'm just going to add half this instant coffee, which not a big fan of instant. We're not, but this is so good. There's like this mushroom taste to it, this tone to it. It's a deep. My wife even said what? That it tastes like what? Tastes like a dark beer. She said it tastes like a dark beer, a stout beer. It just got a lot of flavor, which when you're on any type of diet, and ultimately we don't want this to be a diet. We want this to be a lifestyle. That's what everybody says. I know it sounds cliche, but the bottom line is that yes, we want to find quick, simple things that allow us to feel good about where we're at with our physical body and our health, and our lab results, but we also want to taste things good. Everybody wants to. That's why there's a big industry and all this stuff, and it's growing. So I'm thankful for groups like this that are making things that taste better. All right, so from here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add some hot water. We have one of those water bottle things that add the hot water. So we're just gonna add a little extra hot water. You don't have to have coffee. If you don't want coffee, you don't have to do it. Okay, that's enough. And but we're gonna add a little water because we did add the coffee in there. So obviously that's gonna make it stronger. All right, so I'm just gonna hold the camera right here because we don't have much more to go. We had a little tiny spoon. Can you grab the little tiny spoon? I love this little tiny spoon. It's my stevia spoon. We've had this spoon for a while and I have no idea where it came from or why we have it. I think it's a salting spoon, but it's tiny and I like it. And now it's my my stevia spoon. Did you put stevia in there?
Not extra, no.
Okay, well I'm gonna want extra and that's what I wanted that spoon for.
Oh, okay.
So now that you got it all wet, let's dry it off. This is Mama's first time. All right, let's go. Grab the stevia packet and I will tell you how much to put in mine. Since we're gonna put the whipped cream, which already has some stevia in it, I'm not gonna put as much as I normally would, but let's see, that is way too much, way too much, way too much. A little less, just a tiny bit. Okay, that's gonna work. See that little tiny bit right there? I'm telling you right now, that is probably a 1/16 of a spoon, and it's gonna be delicious. Okay, put it in there. Now you can, oh, go ahead. Now you can, love, can you go ahead and use the little spoon that has the stevia on it to mix it like you did yours? Thank you. All right. All right, there we go. So the last thing that we're gonna add, which well, I take that back. Why don't we go ahead and get the whipping cream? So now we have the whipping cream. We're gonna add a nice glob on top. You got to remember, whipping cream, the calories add up quick. So while this is very keto friendly and not horrible on calories, it can get real big real quick as far as calories if you go overboard. So the last thing we're going to add is a little cinnamon. Just on top. Can you? Yeah. Don't mix mine. I like to eat it like ice cream or marshmallow on top, right, baby? Mm-hmm. I took my daughter over here to what's it called? Snowball.
Oh, Sunny Snowballs.
Sunny Snowballs. And they have just an amazing setup over there where they have this shaved ice and whatnot. That looks perfect for me.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's try it.
Okay. All right. Smells delicious. Cheers.
Salud.
It's not as good as last night, is it? Okay. So it's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think maybe we need to put more cocoa in it. Maybe 2.5 was good enough, wasn't it? Or maybe just 2, maybe a little less, but it just tastes a little watery because we had to add the water in. Maybe it wouldn't taste, I wonder if we would have just added any of the water.
Oh, just do the coffee.
Yes.
Okay, well, I just added stevia because I didn't put stevia in mine. Let's see.
Oh.
It's good. It's just not as thick as last night.
Yeah, it was very
because of the
thick.
cocoa.
I don't know. I think
This is really good, though. I'll take it.
I don't know. I think we're gonna have to do a reshoot. Maybe not. Okay. Well, I'm not wasting. I need more of this. That's what I need. See, I should have done it exactly how I did it last night because then I could have just said you can add a little less cocoa, but no, this is not working. All right, well, this didn't work.
I want to have it and warm it up.
All right, so let's stop. All right, so now that we have all our ingredients, we made our whipped cream, which is awesome. Now we're gonna go ahead and make it exactly how I made it last night, with just a couple of additions. So we're gonna first add the almond milk. Do you wanna do, no, just 1 cup is fine. We're gonna share, because as good as it is and as guilt-free as I told you earlier that I was after finding out that it didn't kick me out of ketosis, or that how sweet it was didn't really affect the reality of how it affected my body, I'm gonna go ahead and just share this, because then it makes me even feel better that instead of consuming 3 net carbs, I'm only consuming 1.5 net carbs, which is really good. So I'm gonna put 2 full heaping tablespoons, which is close to the 2.5 that it is. That I feel comfortable with. Okay. The cocoa will not mix with the almond milk really easy. It's when I first started doing it last time, I'm like, oh no, this isn't gonna work. I thought I was gonna waste it, but then I thought, well, let me try blending it. And then when we ended up seeing the stuff on Pinterest, that's pretty much what they did as well, and it works fine. All right. So now, you know what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and make it in here and heat it up, and then we'll transfer it to the cups after that. How about that?
Looking creamy already.
Yes. All right. So Before we heat it up, I'm going to add the stevia. This is, like I said, the magic ingredient. I'm gonna put that much for now. I think that's gonna work. Probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon, I would say, roughly. Yeah. Earlier we tried to put just hot water in it that you use from your water cooler, but that didn't work. Because it diluted it too much, so don't dilute it. All right, we're gonna put this in for about 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. Okay, so we have our warmed up concoction. Just gonna split this delicious meal in half. It is a meal, trust me. And what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna add a couple of the toppings that we discussed, starting with the whipping cream, or the whipped cream. Unsweetened, but sweetened with stevia. So the same great taste with a lot less consequences. All right. And then we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon, just a little bit. And then we're gonna sprinkle on some of this 4-sigmatic coffee that we talked about. It's instant. That's what's good about instant, is that you can use it as a topping. And so you can go ahead and put quite a bit on there for me. I mean, don't put half necessarily, but definitely put some in. More. Okay, that's good. Yep. All right.
And now for the taste test.
All right, now for the taste test. This didn't work out last time. Let's try it again. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's much better.
Very good.
Oh boy. And with the mushroom, I mean, it depends on what your palate is. I like dark, flavorful type aromas and taste. So does my wife. That's why she had mentioned that the 4-sigmatic mushroom coffee kind of reminds her of a dark beer. And I can see where she's coming from with that, but just a chocolate. So when we started the keto diet, one of the things that I looked into is I love chocolate. I'm not a chocolate fiend, but I definitely like chocolate. But obviously there's a lot of carbs and sugar in that. But if you get the 90%, hey, love, why don't you grab the chocolate real quick? This is the Lindt Excellent 90% cocoa. It's kind of like, it has the same type of properties and ingredients as this, but it's in the chocolate form. So you have 22 grams of fat, 12 grams of carbs, but in 3 grams of sugars, with the dietary fiber being 5 grams. So it's exactly like this actually, except it has 3 grams of sugar. But this is for half of this. Half of this, you only have 3 grams of sugar and a total of 6 grams. So this is a treat that we like to have maybe every couple days, that we'll eat it with some pecans and macadamia nuts, just as a treat and get all those flavonoids. But now that we have this, I can see this kind of replacing this a little more often too. All right, well that does it. We're gonna make some keto cookies next, I believe. And we also have the keto pancakes that I love. And also, the one that I think will blow everybody's mind is the keto cheesecake cupcakes, which, why they're so mind-blowing is that, yes, they taste fantastic, but the best thing about them is it literally takes like 5 minutes to make. It takes about a total of 2 or 3 hours to complete them because they need to rest and cool down in the fridge for a couple hours. But what we really wanted to accomplish with what we do in our lifestyle with this is make sure that everything that we make is easy. We tried to do the cauliflower tortillas, and that was just a lot of work. I mean, it took us it seemed like it took like an hour just to make these couple little things. And maybe somebody else knows how to make it quicker, faster, and they love it, and that's fine. But we are looking for things that take us less than 10 minutes to prepare, and be able to enjoy it quicker, because we're on the run. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.